it's Michelle, and today I'm going to show you how to make a vintage inspired necklace pendant. Earlier in the year, a friend of mine gifted me some crafting supplies, and in with those were some of these flat back flower embellishments. And when I saw these, I really wanted to make something with sort of a vintage look, because that's what they really reminded me of. So I'll show you what I came up with. And these flowers are about 20 millimeters across, and the back is kind of irregularly shaped, so I did straighten that up just a little bit. What I did was I used my Dremel tool, and I've really been loving playing around with this. I fitted it with a grinding wheel to kind of sand that down with, and I just kind of went around the edge of that just to kind of smooth that and clean it up a little bit. It was kind of oddly shaped and a little more than 14 millimeters in some places, and it wouldn't fit into my base here. So I just kind of cleaned up those edges a little bit with that. And my flower shaped base here is a cabochon base that I found online. It's about 24 millimeters across overall, but the size of the circle inside here accommodates about a 14 millimeter embellishment in there. So when you're looking for these online, just be careful to read, because some of these give the size according to the overall width, and some will size according to that inner circle. So just be sure to read and make sure what you're getting, and that's why I had to trim this up. It does allow for up to 14 millimeters, so I just had to clean that up in some places where it was a little more or a little misshapen. And then, besides our flower and our base, we're going to need an 8 millimeter pearl, a 4 millimeter round faceted bead, and I'm using the pink here because I'll be using this base that I've already made after I show you how that's done. And then my cone shaped bead cap here is about 5 millimeters by 9 millimeters, and then I have 2 jump rings, a lobster clasp, and a head pin, and I have all of my metal elements in the antique bronze color to help give me that vintage look. And to get our flower onto our base, we're just going to glue that on with some E6000. And after sanding these and everything, I did clean both the flower and the base with rubbing alcohol to make sure that there was no more dust from sanding or oils from my fingers or anything like that. So we're just going to squeeze out a little drop of our E6000 and glue our flower on with that. And that E6000 holds really strong. I really do love the E6000. So I just press that in there so that that gets a good hold. And then with the E6000, you do want to let that dry overnight. So that's why we're going to lay that aside and use the one here that I've already glued. And I really like this one. This is in that dusty rose pink sort of color, and I really love that. So that is glued on there very well, and our flower covers almost all of that. It just gives a little decorative edge and some places to hang our dangle from and things like that. So for our dangle, I want to go ahead and get that made. And I'm going to take my head pin and first put on my 8mm pearl. And you don't have to use a pearl here. You can use any sort of decorative bead that you want. I just thought the pearl would really lend to that vintage look. And then I'm going to put my cone-shaped bead cap on top of that to sort of frame out my pearl. And I'm going to put my little pink bead on top of that, just to sort of tie in with the color of my flower. And these are the same 4mm pink beads that you saw in my beaded umbrella video. But I'll go ahead and include the link again in the description of this one as well. So when you get all of your decorative bead elements on there, however many you want, just go ahead and bend that at a 90-degree angle and cut that off to about 1/4 of an inch. And then roll that into a loop to create our dangle. So there that is. And like I said, you can use any combination of decorative beads there that you want in any order that you want. And then I'm going to take one of my jump rings and open that up. And then I'm going to get my flower embellishment here that I have glued onto that cabochon base and try to figure out what I want to be my top and bottom. So I think I want it about like that. So I'm going to come straight down to what would be the very bottom loop there and attach my dangle to that and close it back up. And then I'm going to put my other jump ring on the very top. Actually, I'm going to pull in another jump ring here. We'll actually need 2 of the jump rings so that our lobster clasp will hang in the correct position. And then just close that up. So just that easy, you've got a vintage necklace pendant. I think this is really, really cute. I love that vintage look. So you all be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give me a like over on my Facebook page. Follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.